John Foster brought down the house at the Toby Keith Foundation event with his unforgettable performance of the Patriotic Anthem, courtesy of the Red, White and Blue, a song forever tied to Toby Keith's legacy and the resilience of the American spirit. The night itself was already charged with emotion as fans, families, veterans, and supporters of the foundation gathered to celebrate both Toby Keith's enduring influence and the foundation's mission of providing care and hope to children fighting cancer. But when Foster stepped into the spotlight and delivered his stirring rendition of one of country music's most powerful songs, the energy in the room shifted into something larger than just music. It became a living, breathing tribute to courage, sacrifice, and the timeless spirit of unity that Toby Keiths are often championed. The Toby Keith Foundation has long stood as a beacon of support for children and families navigating the most difficult journeys. Its cornerstone project, OK Kids Choral, provides a home away from home for pediatric cancer patients and their families, allowing them to focus on healing without the heavy burdens of financial stress. This annual event has become both a celebration of Toby Keith's life and work and a rallying point for the community to come together in support of these children. Country stars, friends of Toby, and loyal fans gather each year not just to remember a legend but to carry forward his vision of giving back. For this year's event, the anticipation was especially high, and much of that anticipation was directed at the moment when John Foster would take the stage with courtesy of the Red, White and Blue. From the first note, it was clear that Foster was not simply performing a cover, he was channeling the raw emotional force that Toby Keith poured into the song every time he sang it. The audience erupted the moment the opening guitar riff echoed across the venue. Flags waved, hands went over hearts, and veterans in the crowd stood tall, saluting as if instinctively pulled into the anthem's gravity. Foster's voice rang out with grit, fire, and an authenticity that captured the room, reminding everyone of the first time they ever heard Toby Keith belt those famous lines in the wake of 9/11. The timing of this performance was powerful. It wasn't just about honoring military sacrifice, but about honoring resilience itself, the same resilience seen in children facing cancer, in families enduring hardships, and in communities uniting to support each other through music and compassion. The lyrics of "Courtesy of the Red, White and Blue" hit differently at this event. Originally written as Toby Keith's personal reaction to the September 11 attacks and the death of his father, a veteran, the song has long stood as a rallying cry of American pride and defiance in the face of tragedy. At the Toby Keith Foundation event, those same words resonated not just as a patriotic declaration but as a metaphor for standing strong against life's toughest battles. Parents of children currently staying at OK Kids Choral were visibly moved, tears streaming down their faces while they held onto their kids' hands, finding in the music a reminder that courage takes many forms. Veterans in attendance, many of whom were there as special guests, cheered loudly, their faces lighting up with recognition of the bond that Toby Keith always nurtured with the military community. John Foster understood the weight of what he was doing. He didn't just sing, he let the crowd take ownership of the moment. Midway through the song, he stepped back from the microphone and encouraged the audience to sing with him. The response was overwhelming. Hundreds of voices filled the hall, blending together in a chorus that transcended performance and became a collective act of remembrance and solidarity. For many in the room, this was more than just a concert, it was a spiritual experience, the kind of communal release that music uniquely provides. The reaction on social media in the hours and days following the event underscored just how impactful the performance had been. Attendees shared clips of Foster's rendition, with captions filled with emotional reactions, stories of military service, and memories of how Toby Keith's music had touched their lives. Hashtags like #Courtside of the Red, White and Blue, #Toby Keith Foundation, and #John Foster trended regionally, with fans praising the performance as both heartfelt and worthy of the song's legacy. Military families posted photos of their loved ones alongside clips of the performance, noting how Toby Keith's anthem had once been a soundtrack to their deployments and how it still carried the same emotional weight years later. The event itself was full of memorable moments. Other performers took the stage to honor Toby Keith's catalog, foundation leaders spoke about the progress of OK Kids Choral, and families shared personal testimonies about how the foundation had changed their lives. But it was John Foster's performance that emerged as the emotional centerpiece. It perfectly tied together the themes of patriotism, resilience, and hope that defined both Toby Keith's career and the mission of his foundation. Foster himself expressed afterward how honored he felt to sing that particular song at such a meaningful event. He spoke openly about how Toby Keith influenced him not only as a musician but as a man, teaching him that music could carry more than entertainment, it could carry responsibility, values, and impact. Foster explained that for him, singing, courtesy of the red, white and blue, wasn't just about honoring Toby's memory but about continuing a legacy that celebrated both the country and the people who make it strong. His humility and gratitude added yet another layer to the performance's significance, endearing him further to fans and attendees. For those who had followed Toby Keith's career from the early days, the performance was a reminder of just how central this song was to his story. Released in 2002, it quickly became one of his defining works, controversial to some but undeniably powerful in the way it connected with millions of listeners. Toby performed it for troops overseas, at national events, and on countless stages, always with the same intensity that made it unforgettable. Seeing John Foster step into that tradition showed that the song continues to live on, not just as a piece of music but as a symbol of unity and strength. As the evening drew to a close, the emotional high from Foster's performance lingered. Conversations buzzed about how electrifying it had been, how perfectly it captured the night, and how much it reminded everyone of why they had gathered, to celebrate Toby Keith's legacy and to support the cause he cared about most. Families left the event inspired, veterans left feeling honored, and fans left knowing they had witnessed something rare, a moment where music, memory, and mission aligned seamlessly. In the broader cultural landscape, the performance also sparked discussions about the enduring relevance of patriotic music and how songs like, courtesy of the red, white and blue, continue to resonate decades after their release. In a world where divisions often dominate headlines, the Toby Keith Foundation event reminded people of music's unique ability to bring communities together, crossing generational, political, and personal lines to create shared experiences of pride and compassion. Ultimately, John Foster's performance at the Toby Keith Foundation event was more than just a tribute. It was a statement that Toby Keith's music and mission continue to thrive, a statement that resilience is worth celebrating in all its forms, and a statement that music can still unite people in ways that few other things can. For the foundation, it was a triumph of an evening that raised both awareness and funds, ensuring that the work of supporting children battling cancer can continue. For the fans, it was an unforgettable night of music and emotion. And for John Foster, it was the moment he stepped firmly into a legacy larger than himself, carrying forward a torch lit by Toby Keith and keeping its flame alive for future generations. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Talent Zone Updates YouTube channel for more update news.